Hi, I'm Dan Borsi with WorthPoint.com. We're here live at the Baltimore Coin and Currency Convention in Baltimore, Maryland.
But there's the new book.
This is the only edition of this that's even out right now, so you're getting the first shot.
It's hot off the press. It was written by a couple of authors that took a poll of the entire industry. Some of these 100 are not available because they're either several are in the Smithsonian and they're unique. Some are, there's maybe 2 or 3 known, and they're either in the hands of private collectors that may never come out for a lifetime. The criteria was that they're supposed to be significant to the coin collecting fraternity. So some coins like this, whereas the SVDB penny, everybody's heard of the SVDB penny. It's the first year of the Lincoln, and
Key to the set, obviously.
right. It was called Key to the Set. It's perhaps one of the world's most available key date coins. I mean, it carries an expensive price tag from a few $100s up to several $1,000s, but it's significant in the sense that everybody knows about it. It was probably the coin when kids started collecting. They were aware of it. They needed to fill their album with it. So there's that criteria that makes a coin important also. That's the first U.S. coin. There were a couple thousand of these made, but in the time, the U.S. Mint had not opened. George Washington was president, and one of the statements when a country was emerging to come onto the world stage was their ability to create gold and silver coins. Because if you didn't create gold and silver coins, you were nobody. Martha Washington donated all these loose pieces of silverware and sent them to the mint to be melted down and struck into the nation's first coinage. The equipment was in a shop down the street from where the Philadelphia Mint was going to be, but it was struck in a workshop. The 2,000 pieces came out of the workshop and were given to the Secretary of State, who happened to be Thomas Jefferson at the time. And he counted them, verified them, and decided that these were, likely candidates for coinage. They never really did circulate. They were mostly given to dignitaries and friends. Allegedly, 100 of them were given to George Washington, who gave them to his closest friends. That's the MS-68 version of it. You can see how crude that design is. These were handmade dies. They used hand-screwed presses.
And to see the historical values of these coins, it charts them from 1960 to 80, to the first edition of the book in 2003, to the second edition in 2005, to the current third edition.
Right.
They don't seem to go down.
Yeah, this coin is ranked number 2 in the current book. This is the original $20 gold piece that Augusta St. Gaudens designed. Modern research has concluded that it was 19 of these made in 1907. And they're basically presentation pieces. They're graded proof today by the grading services. This is the only one that was graded proof 69 by both grading services. There's a 70-point grading scale, 70 being perfect, and no classic coin has ever been graded 70. So when they go through this process, this coin is the finest of the surviving coins by unanimous grading standards by both grading services, and it's currently valued at $5 million. He was a sculptor and not a coin man, so when he made a design, it was not practical for coinage use. And when they translated it to a coin, they found that it was impractical. It didn't stack, it was hard to deal with. So the banking and financial community didn't like it. They modified the design, which is the coin that actually circulated, much flatter design. It is the first U.S. silver dollar.
Yep.
Even in damaged conditions with holes in them, they're collectible, and they're still worth several $1,000s with damage and holes. The other coin is probably most fascinating to collectors and the world alike. Is this coin is called the $4 Stella. It was never issued for circulation, but it's a pattern piece that was designed at the time to compete with the foreign gold coins of the day that circulated throughout Europe and a lot of the rest of the world with the same exact weight. We didn't have a coin. We had $2.50 gold pieces and $5 gold pieces, and they didn't compete well with those units that they used in Europe. Among the Washington, D.C. madams, a lot of these appeared around necklaces, presumably given to them by congressional customers. So it has a little story attached to it. This is the single finest known of all survivors. It's graded 68, there's only one, and it's presently worth a little over $500,000.
Wow, that's some coin.